How much planning goes into your diet? Hello. While meat is very easy to dodge and not much of a loss taste-wise as commonly claimed, I have not yet managed to become anything like an actual vegan. I have the problem that eating is kind of a chore for me. Food recommendations are scary in a way. In a vegan or general context, you're supposed to eat so many fruits in small meals, you'd be doing nothing but eating and transporting fruits all day. A more realistic scenario is, you work all day, return and can't really be bothered to put much effort into cooking at that point. Like 90% of my dinners are either pasta with some minor condiment or rice and beans, takes 20 minutes, a plate, a spoon and only one small pot. And maybe I'll take a handful to munch out of a bag of nuts after that. If I have an apple out of a sense of duty, it takes me like 45 minutes to eat it, and taking the acid into account throws off the sense of when to brush teeth. Don't have a freezer and my kitchen is in the same room as the rest of my apartment, so some foods are a bad idea in general and things like spinach, I can only eat directly on the day of grocery shopping, which I hate, so usually I'll wait until I actually need a lot of stuff again, and buy mostly non-perishables. Confuses me and the reason why I still get milk and eggs sometimes. If I take a look at the supplements section in a store, it's not just one B12 thing that I definitely lack, but things like B*+ plus E plus K plus magnesium plus whatever, different variations of that. Even if the milk just has decent levels of B12 by supplementing the poor cow in turn. How the fuck do I know I'm not overdosing on something else? Living in a bumfuck rural place, I highly doubt there is a nutritionist anywhere nearby. This is not meant to sound as whiny as it probably does, but how much effort does it actually take to do this properly? How do you handle the moments when you just can't decide what to eat in any way but impulsively? For starters, stop letting the supplement section of the store tell you what you need. I do very little planning. I buy rice and beans in bulk, as well as long-lasting root veg like potatoes and carrots. Then I buy whatever fruit veg is in season and on sale. When I cook or prep, I do more than I need for that specific meal, so I always have leftovers. You're overcomplicating it. Maybe. Overcomplication always comes out of a sense of uncertainty. It's common to read warnings and concerns, and not without reason given poor eating habits are to the detriment of millions, if not billions, yet my knowledge of the biochemical processes behind is obviously quite pedestrian, barely beyond a point where it's possible to somewhat differentiate between good advice and unfounded esotericism. It's quite difficult to find an actually productive middle ground between the states of whatever, and oh shit, in such uncertain scenarios like how much intuition can actually be trusted for a maybe not optimal but acceptable nutrition, at least for me. Anyway, using leftovers when you have more complicated food that is more time or ingredient inefficient at too small a scale is definitely a good idea, although I rarely actually do it. There is more planning in the beginning when you are still in the learning phase. It gets easier. Currently I don't really do much planning, I just eat what I want and take a multivitamin once a day that is specifically made for vegans. I have no clue if I was getting enough vitamins when I was an omni, but since becoming vegan I'm definitely more aware of all the nutrient stuff and probably due to that healthier too. I really benefited from taking part in a vegan challenge online that took 1 month. The one I participated was in Finnish and about our local products and really helped to understand how to plan the diet part of veganism. If something like that is available in your country I'd recommend you try it out. I know Veganuary is available for UK, Germany, Australia and I think US too, so that might be an option. Edit, TBH I don't even eat fruits that much. I mean I love fruits but I don't necessarily eat them every day. Hey, can you share the challenge? Curious about Finnish local foods. That does sound interesting, thanks. It's really the planning, distribution and more nutritional digestive part that I'm struggling with. When, a lot of the other introductory work they seem to do, like the what not, and why, is useful but I already know, at least enough to some degree that it isn't the immediate problem. We'll have to see how they layer it and how deep it goes for different levels of beginners. It was funny to me to read you don't eat many fruits because it's a problem for me but it's that I don't like very many fruits. Luckily, I like or love many veggies. I end up feeling bad not eating much fruit, but when I buy some, I often end up avoiding it until it goes bad and I toss it. It's so hard to try to force myself to choke down something usually high in acidity and or sugar when I don't enjoy it all. I'm not sure I can help that much since I've really gotten into food and eating lately. Oats literally take no time to prepare. I eat them cold with peanut butter and some maple syrup with fortified soy milk. I'll add peanut butter, flax, and chocolate chips for fun. Can you order food online? Meal prep is essential to me eating a healthy diet, and always has been, even when I was an omni. I always make breakfasts, lunches, and snacks for 4 to 5 days throughout the week, and will keep extra fruits, veg for making easy dinners with throughout the week. I also keep lots of rice, beans, pasta, sauces around to put together meals quickly. My so and I take about 2-ish hours on Sunday to meal prep, but we have a bunch of meals ready to eat throughout the week. It's also a fun bonding activity for us as well. We just turn on music, cook, and hang out. I like using Chronometer. I used to hate plugging in my food, but I changed my mindset to think of it as a game. You don't need to carry fruits around all day at all. There are good ways to meal prep that are quick and easy, for example overnight oats, add protein powder or peanut butter for more protein, and meal prepping other meals if you find the energy. The food diary online I do is so helpful for seeing what I'm missing, as I've learned general idea of what kind of calories and foods I need to eat every day. I've learned to always attempt to have these foods as a snack. Edamame, amazing complete protein, black bean dip, celery with peanut butter, orange with olive oil and sea salt, such a good snack for vitamin C and A, lil dab of sunflower oil for omega-6 fatty acid, and spinach for iron. Just try your best to have foods like this around and don't forget your tofu or other protein. Morning oats, healthy snacks, sandwich, a stir fry, then an orange is pretty much every day for me. TBH, I rarely eat fruit and take a multivitamin for B12 and D, but I would be fine in all other regards. Me 6 years ago, banana nice cream, mangoes, white rice, 100,000 bananas, 1,500 potatoes. Me now, veggie pad thai, burritos loaded with veggies and guac and salsa, vegan Caesar salads, pizza, tofu scrambles, pancakes, bagels with vegan cream cheese, corn chowder, veggie burgers, vegan grilled cheese. In the beginning it takes planning, but over time you get super used to it and develop staple foods and adapt and substitute things for things you used to eat when you weren't vegan. The problem arises when you weren't really good at diversifying your diet before considering veganism a good idea either. Laughing face, I've definitely tried and learned more recipes compared to when I first moved out of my parents' house and was completely clueless, but these two very low-effort core staples all constantly fall back to when I'm like, never really changed, so far. There's two components to it, effort, willingness and availability, which is sort of what I was trying to allude with the spinach. I think an error I'm making is that commonly, my grocery shopping is an, shit, I'm running out of food again, need to buy something, god damn it. So in that sort of mentally fatigued state, you're always going to buy something you don't to think a lot for dinner, that being rice, beans and pasta. I don't really wanna just eat that, but I'm gonna be eating them eventually anyway, right? And then, some other day, maybe it's a Sunday like today, you're actually in the mood of trying something else and not just wanting to get the not starving part over with once more, but the fridge says, well, can of beans for dinner again. So often, I'll only actually manage to experiment with food during vacation time. What I probably should be doing is actually making a list of things to try that may even be super convenient, diversifying nutrition input while also fitting within the constraints of having a very limited kitchen to work with when actually feeling like trying something but not having anything suitable in place, and then, sorry for going off on the weird rambly tangent of realizing grocery shopping lists are not actually useless. I hear you, cooking and eating are not my priorities. I cook once a day, I cook a double batch and save half for lunch the next day. I skip breakfast. I drink coffee with Ripple in it. I buy frozen veggies, mostly riced cauliflower plus eggplant, bell peppers, broccoli, and vegan proteins, Beyond Meat, tofu, and throw it in a bowl with a simple sauce. These meals cook up as fast as pasta. I snack on nuts and seeds. I take multivitamins in case I'm missing something. At first I tracked everything I ate to make sure I was getting the right nutrients, but you get used to it and can go on autopilot eventually. Eating low carb makes hunger much quieter, as in it's still there but doesn't make me feel like I'm starving, which is great when I can find a vegan choice besides a salad. The frozen part is the issue, they're probably too perishable to go for when you can't do that. The low-carb part is interesting, since my diet is very much the opposite and it feels correct. I don't know how much it's genetic metabolism differences and how much it's conditioning or even addiction, but I'm the very ectomorphic type who eats way more carbs than less skinny people and burns everything away, feel miserably lethargic if I don't, like in the getting back from work scenario. If you're vegetarian, why not trade out cow's milk for soy milk or another plant milk? Although I didn't care for soy milk at first, that was mainly because I had mentally categorized it wrong. It's not really like cow's milk, it's better thought of as more along peanut butter lines, as a legume. Like, why not look at what you'd be eating as a vegan and see how nutrient-packed they actually are? One reason cow's milk and eggs have all that crap about how good for you they are on them is that's definitely not why people eat them. Same for almond milk and peanut butter lolo, whatever you use eggs for, there is a delicious and nutritious vegan replacement. Aquafaba for meringue, flaxseed for baking, tofu scrambles for scrambled eggs, banana French toast or just ridiculously unhealthy regular French toast, as per usual, vegan version, indistinguishable. Frozen veggies are my non-perishable item of choice to eat in every main, pretty much. Nutritional yeast is a great source of B12 and goes really nicely in beans and rice to boot. You can dip a toe in and see how you feel. But I promise, come on in, the water's fine. Even if you keep using eggs for like one meal you adore, that's better than using both eggs and cow's milk.